Congress is giving the Federal Aviation Administration 3 years to come up with regulations to let unmanned drones share airspace with traditional aircraft. A new poll shows a third of Americans worry their privacy could be compromised by the use of unmanned aerial surveillance vehicles. But ONR's Cathy Tatom discovered public safety agencies want to use drones to fight crime. Farmers want them to monitor crops, and environmentalists see them as a way to track endangered species.
Unmanned aerial surveillance drones began as a way to give military units the ability to watch the enemy and guide attacks without putting soldiers in the line of fire. Now the technology is poised to become a low-cost way for civilian public safety agencies to get eyes on everything from criminals to catastrophes.
You're talking about a few $1,000s to get the system in the first place, and then actually a minimal amount to operate.
Dr. Steve McKeever is the Vice President for Research and Technology Transfer at Oklahoma State University. He's also Oklahoma's Secretary of Science and Technology.
The use of this technology in law enforcement, search and rescue, emergency response, will be the first application of the technology in the commercial or public sector.
OSU and private sector business play a key role in the design, development, and construction of both military and civilian unmanned aerial surveillance systems. Dr. David Arena is a professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering at Oklahoma State.
At the graduate level, we have a brand new program where you can actually get a master's or a PhD in unmanned aerial systems engineering. That's the only one of its kind right now in the world.
Some unmanned systems are helicopters, outfitted with both thermal and traditional cameras.
This is our basic law enforcement package. We have built.
Others look a lot like radio-controlled model airplanes.
Unmanned aircraft can come in any shape or size. At OSU, they build lots of them for competition, but companies also build them a lot bigger and a lot smaller for all types of different operations.
You've got unmanned aircraft that are as small as insects all the way up to as large as commercial aircraft.
Curtis Sprague is a former air marshal, now with Tactical Electronics in Broken Arrow.
Lifting off.
His company builds the Raptor. It's a battery-powered surveillance helicopter that can be operated by a pilot on the ground, or it can fly without an operator. Its onboard computer can be programmed to recognize and follow a person or object, and even to search a specified pattern.
The industry is really burgeoning. Every day we turn around, we find more applications for it. We got into this business primarily to market to law enforcement and military special operations, mostly intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations. However, as we do our research and we talk to more and more people, we find out there are other needs.
Those in the industry prefer to call unmanned aerial surveillance vehicles UAVs or UASs instead of drones. But whatever you call them, they fly in a wide variety of conditions. On snowy days, rainy afternoons, bright sunny days, or even the dead of night. Some models can even stay up for hours to provide continuous monitoring of situations. McKeever says that capability would be invaluable for firefighters battling wildfires.
They'll be seeing live video of the fires as the fires are developing, and will be able to make strategic decisions about which parts they should attack first.
James Coombs is one of the first students in the OSU UAV graduate program. He and fellow students design and build unmanned aircraft from scratch.
It's interesting, it's exciting.
And potentially life-saving. He says law enforcement can use UAVs to track suspects rather than chasing them on the ground in a patrol car or in the air with a manned helicopter.
You think about a small hand-launched electric plane, it's going to be quiet and it's going to be a little bit stealthier than a giant helicopter whopping its blades around the town telling the guy where it is. With these smaller aircraft, the police officer could throw one into the air, and with the GPS guidance system, it could put a target on a car and follow the thing for miles without the suspect ever even knowing, and then once the guy gets there, the police officers can stay out of harm's way. They don't have to chase the car, down the interstate, risking public and innocent lives and things like that. And once the guy finds a place to stop and try to hide, you've got your small airplane already still following the guy, and it's transmitting a GPS location, and you just send in the SWAT team and take the guy out, and nobody's harmed and no danger to the public.
In Texas and a couple of other states, small-scale testing of police drones is already underway. But before the technology gets approval for wide-scale use, a couple of issues need to be resolved. First, the FAA needs regulations allowing manned and unmanned aircraft to share the same airspace.
It's a valid concern. Right now we have full-size aviation assets flying all around in the national airspace, and we're looking at putting unmanned aircraft systems up there with them. And the problem comes with the fact that unmanned aircraft systems don't have a crew on board. They don't have a pilot that can look out for other aircraft. So the concern is basically see or sense and avoid for unmanned aircraft systems with other aircraft.
The second concern is privacy.
I think the correct way to approach this is to take these concerns very seriously. After all, whenever you have new technology, there's always the potential for someone to abuse it. And so the correct and informed discussions need to take place at the requisite levels, such that we have the policies, regulations, and laws that will protect the privacy of our citizens.
McKeever believes because of its relative low cost and wide-ranging applications, unmanned aerial surveillance is the wave of the future. Once the concerns over privacy and airspace are worked out, UAVs will likely become common tools used by the largest and smallest public safety agencies across the state.